The three types of financial advisors. Who are they? What do they do? And what are the differences? I'm Dan. I am biased on this because I am an independent financial advisor. However, I've worked at all three types of these financial firms throughout my career. So what are they? One, the broker-dealer. The broker-dealer is going to be like a Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, large wirehouses, as we call them. These have been around for 100 years. Everyone knows their names, their noticeable brands, and logos. The other is the banks, the bank channel. I've worked there as well. This could be anywhere from a large bank or a mid-sized bank or even small. Most banks now have financial advisors in them, and whether they're in the office or they cover one location or multiple, they usually have the bankers refer to financial advisors at the bank. And the third is independent advisor, which I am. Independent advisor is anywhere from a solo firm to 100 people or more. It's independent from a large brokerage firm or bank. So let's get into it. What are the differences? Now, I made a video a while ago explaining how Morgan Stanley advisors don't get paid on anything under $250,000 in client assets. So these are the large legacy firms. These are the firms where you would be if your grandpa or your parents had an account today. Usually, if you're starting out looking for a financial advisor, you would not go to these firms. Even if you have a high net worth, going to these firms now in this type of environment with transparency usually isn't the best. If you're an informed investor, you wouldn't invest your money with these firms. Let me explain why. These brokerage firms, the advisors here have a Series 7 license. A Series 7 basically means you're a stockbroker. You charge commission on the trade. This is somewhat of an antiquated business model. Charging commission buying stock or charging upfront for mutual fund shares. This is very antiquated and very fee heavy. Now, of course, they charge high fees. They make a lot of money for the firm. They have the downtown office, the wood panel. I worked there. I worked in downtown Detroit amongst the wood paneling, the nice secretary. Well, she wasn't that nice, but the front desk lady. They had the large high-rise building downtown. So that's where that money goes. They also have very high sales goals that they have to hit, which is why they need to keep charging and charging for these funds and stocks that they trade for clients. Now, also, they are not a fiduciary. Some of them might be now. It is changing. But when I was there, you didn't have to do what's in the client's best interest. You just had to allocate them correctly towards their risk tolerance, towards their goals. It wasn't always client focused. Also, these large firms are going to have hundreds of clients per advisor. And you need that many clients to hit your sales goals. You need over 100 million in assets just to keep churning and hitting those goals. Now, I'm not accusing them of doing anything. This is my opinion and what I experienced at these firms. They could have reputable people there that have been working in the industry since the 80s. A lot of them have been there for decades and decades. This is why I refer to them as the legacy firm. I know somebody my age in his 40s who's with the same team of advisors that his grandpa was with. I guarantee you if he was just starting out today and his grandpa didn't have that advisor, he would not go to these large wirehouses. And that leads us to the bank advisor. Now, the financial advisor at the bank. So usually who this is best for is the old lady that wants a CD alternative. They speak to the financial advisor there. It might be in-house. He might be covering 10 different branches. Who knows? But the banker will usually refer to the financial advisor. So this is best for somebody, like I said, that wants a CD alternative and wants a very easy understanding of maybe mutual funds or a very simple portfolio to put together. This is basically cash alternatives. When I worked at the bank, what I would do is when we had people in CDs, we would put them in the fixed annuities. It would lock up their money for a little bit longer time frame, 3 to 5 years, more even, but it would give them a much higher rate for a longer period of time. So this is best for people that want something safe, easy, or if they're just getting started investing, just a simple mutual fund. They're also Series 7 brokers. They're going to charge upfront fees for these mutual funds, and they're going to have up to 1,000 clients. So you're not going to get the individual service that you really want. It's just something simple, set it and forget it, maybe talk to the advisor once every couple years. When I worked at the bank, I had 850 clients. 850, anywhere from 5,000 up to 1 million plus. There was no way I could call them all, contact them, review their portfolios. It wasn't the best for the client. This, again, I have to stress, something simple for the client, a simple mutual fund, boom, one and done. There's not going to be a lot of service associated with these financial advisors. And again, not fiduciaries, at least in my experience. Now, which leads us to our third type of financial advisor, the independent advisor, RIA, registered investment advisor, registered with the states as a fiduciary, no Series 7. So you cannot charge as a stockbroker. You can't put clients in A-share mutual funds. You cannot charge per trade. Most RIAs, independent advisors, charge an annual fee. Some of them charge a little bit too high. Most of them stick to 1% or under. So the fees are lower. There's no upfront charge. And if you're independent, you don't have layers upon layers of management to split commission with. So your client base is going to be a much smaller amount, probably 1 to 200 people. A couple hundred solid six-figure accounts is really all you need as an independent advisor, which allows you to give the families that you work with individual attention and service. You could easily call your book of business within a few days. You can follow up with them and make sure you are providing service and competing on service as well. A lot of other advisors will compete on fees, or their mutual funds are better than the other guy's mutual funds. The best way to compete is on service. You can get funds, you can get stocks anywhere. But the independent model allows you to compete on service, being a fiduciary, doing what's best for your clients, and also low fees. And that's how I differentiate myself from other advisors, low fees, service, fiduciary. And really when it comes down to it, no matter where you go, if you like the advisor, you're going to want to work with them. If you want to go to a legacy firm that charges an arm and a leg, or a bank that doesn't have a full range of product mix, if you like the advisor, you're going to work with them. And that's why my clients choose to work with me, because of me. You're really promoting yourself and your service in this business. But if you truly want to do the best for your clients, I would highly recommend looking at the independent channel. Like I've said before, no sales goals, low fees, fiduciary, client focused. I hope that clears up the 3 different types of financial advisors. Let me know in the comments who you work with or who you are if you are an advisor. Thanks a lot, guys.